We're just going to have a look at one last technique before I send you off to work on your lesson plans. Has anyone worked with affinity diagrams? They're a really handy technique for organising a heck of a lot of information all at once. You can actually see how it fits into a lesson plan in terms of start, middle and end. So by popping all those words on a post-it note, which it contains, it leads into a lot of information. It was easy to fit in how we could organise that information into a lesson plan. All right, I've given you some post-it notes.
Oh, I didn't bring any sheets.
Your only task for those post-it notes, everyone here in this room has to deal with OH&S in their subject areas. And I'm sure you've all sat down and had a bit of a think as how to deliver it. You've got your own activities that you use. Can I get you to take those post-it notes and just briefly write down the name of the different activities you use to deliver WH&S to your students? I'm sorry, I use OH&S all the time, I shouldn't. So we all work with WH&S. So just the activities, that's all we want to know, just the activities. I get my students to look at funny pictures. I get them to go out and do a site inspection. What do you do to work with your students to deliver WH&S? I want you to come up and arrange those activities into which area you would use them to teach about. So is WH&S legislation? Would you use those activities to teach about that? WH&S workplace rules, WH&S responsibilities in the workplace. Where do those activities fit in to the delivery of the WH&S curriculum? All right, so we've taken all of that information. This is a tool. Affinity diagrams are a tool for organising a lot of information. And the reason we're taking you through this today is often you start off with a whole training package. It's like, where in the hell do I start? Then you start breaking it down. You could take all the information on WH legislation and then break it down again, all those activities, and figure out where they fit in. You could break down the section on rules and you can break down the section with responsibilities in the workplace. We have a hell of a lot of ideas here. Just got to go over them because I would suggest you take a photograph. If you're ever searching for an idea, there's a ton of them up here. Under legislation, we've got YouTube scenarios, videos, slides, booklets, form completion, true or false statements, quiz scenarios again, mock meetings, induction booklet, risk analysis and hierarchy, evacuation drills, show them the safety signs and exits. Don't kick them out as well, do you? Design a safe office space, MSDSs, role play, site inspections, student knowledge, hazard identification, watch a video of a school to identify hazards, match signs to labels, research the function of emergency colour codes, look for hazards in the room, brainstorm WHS issues relevant to community services, that would be, JSAs, accident role play, brainstorming for problem solving, YouTube's manuals and handling, campus induction, hazard reports, safety audits of campus, building inspections, demonstrations, discussions, complete, and go around the campus and identify OH&S issues. So it's a lot of ideas and resources there that you have shared between you. I have to share one that came up on Tuesday. He shows his students a particular video about ancient Egypt and the workspace there, and the workplace rules they had in ancient Egypt, where if you were the architect that designed the house and the house collapsed and someone died, you died. That was the straight natural consequence of not following OH&S or WH&S in those days. So he found that a very, very strong hook to get students interested and a great activity to start a conversation. So there's lots of interesting ideas around how could you use this in student assessment. Affinity
And
diagram.
affinity.
How could you use that process
Oh,
as a student assessment?
put things in the right places.
Yeah, they've got to be able to understand. For example, if you had them going through protocols for JSAs, do they understand how each section of it fits together? You know, you can start off with a mass of words and they've got to sort it out. Again, it's interactive, it's forcing them to think. Collective teacher efficacy is on the top of that. That's teachers working together as we are today. John Hattie ranks that as 1.67. Teachers working together deliver learning practices and lessons that are 4 times more likely to be retained and enhance learning in your students. So the importance of you working together can't be underrated. We're going to make sure that our lessons are not teacher focused. We're going to make sure we're not up here to deliver. We're here to work together, work side by side, test. We've got time to test what we're thinking about. And we're going to make sure that the students are the centre of the learning that we're going to plan. Everything we do in terms of objectives, the way we set up the lesson, our articulation of what they're going to learn is based around enhancing student learning. Karen loved this acronym, growth. She felt it was quite easy, and we were talking about a growth mentality in class where we see everyone with no limits. We don't impose any limits. We have high expectations. So growth, when you're sitting there going through your lesson plan, what are your goals? What's the current reality of where you're dealing with this lesson and what you're delivering, the classroom, the day, what else is going on? What are your options? Now, you may not have options. You may have to do something one way for this particular day. Doesn't mean the next time you do it, you can't do it differently. So there's always options to think about. What are you going to do? What tactics will you employ? And what habits do you need to develop? Building this mind memory of focusing on student learning. We're going to have a look at the roadmap for learning. You're going to sit there and say, what do I want my students to learn? What teaching and learning activities will I use? And how will I check for understanding? You have plenty of resources now if you're stuck on anything.